Make perfect salmon every time in your dishwasher.
She's gonna be cooking salmon in the dishwasher. Like, seriously.
Now just take your patty and give it a quick rinse.
No. A lot of you have been wanting more TikTok reviews, and today we're going to be seeing some more TikTok hack videos. Well, we'll see whether or not they actually work. If you are new to the channel, my name is James Makinson. I've been cooking for many, many years in the United States and over here in Europe, and I have plenty of other videos and recipes on my YouTube channel. And if you do watch my videos and you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure that you hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future content. Now, let's get started. It's not going to be one of these again, is it? This isn't going to be what I think they're going to be making. Like an omelet or something. So let me get this straight. They're adding more seasoning to this bag of chips, so Lay's potato chips. That's India's magic masala seasoning. Seriously? I think there's already like a lot of seasoning in this bag. The eggs are overcooked. And to be honest, if you actually want to make an omelet, it's much faster to make an omelet in the normal way than sticking it in one of these bags and then boiling it. Now, you can actually cook eggs like this in a bag. It's possible, and I believe even Food Services of America, this was years ago, they were selling a product, I don't know if they still are, where you actually have eggs that are in a bag that you put in boiling water, and it's quick scrambled eggs for the buffet line. It's a disgusting product, but it's quick. And they actually take longer than actually making scrambled eggs the normal way.
Let's put our pizza dough onto the waffle maker. Add some tomato sauce, some fresh mozzarella.
What's she making? This is gonna be like what? A waffle pizza? Hey, any Italians watching right now? It may be a good time to look away for a few seconds.
Now let's add on our toppings. And the last pepperoni's here. Add on a green pepper ring. For the meat in this corner, we are going to use some shredded ham. And it wouldn't be a Hawaiian pizza without some pineapple tidbits.
The green peppers, if you don't cut them thin enough, they're not going to cook fully. So, you know, I don't know. I've never cooked a pizza in a waffle machine before. It's never occurred to me. I've never even seen it. Never.
Now let's close this up. We're gonna wrap our pizza dough right on top. Now we're gonna close this up and let it cook for 10 minutes until you have a perfect waffle pizza.
Perfect waffle pizza. Well, she's actually making a calzone, but she's making it in a waffle machine instead of actually just making a calzone. If it works, but it's still a little strange.
Put that aside, and we're gonna grab our burner. Homemade sauce is always 10 times better. Let's grab our pan, drizzle on some olive oil. We're gonna take our garlic contraption, just put in 2 little cloves. Close that up. You guys already know this is our favorite way to chop up garlic. Doesn't get your hands dirty at all. All right, that's it. Super easy, and you have chopped garlic right into the pan.
What a strange little gimmick to chop up garlic. I mean, why is it so hard just to take a cutting board, crush it with a knife, and to chop it up? It's faster, because at the end, you still have to clean this little thing. Maybe they do work, but for me, I would never buy one.
We're gonna add in a little bit of Italian seasoning, salt and pepper, 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour.
For anybody that doesn't know what exactly like Italian seasoning is, it's a blend of herbs. Basil, rosemary, oregano, thyme, maybe margarine, depending on where you buy it. And it may have a few other herbs in it, like sage or a few others.
This smells just like the Pizza Hut dip. I'm addicted to that stuff. When it's nice and golden brown, you can add in about 1/3 of a cup of half and half.
Yum, garlic dip.
We're going to add the final ingredient, which is just a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Let's get it into a bowl.
She added a roux to make the sauce, which is good, but it's a little too thick. She should have added a little more cream to it because this consistency is not right.
All right, it's been about 10 minutes. Oh my goodness.
Wow, that's looking good.
The perfect size personal pizzas. How cheesy is that?
So cheesy.
If we didn't see this from the beginning, I would actually think that this is a waffle because it looks like a waffle. But a pizza waffle, It's so bizarre.
Get a nice big chunk in there. Cheers. For some reason, everything in a waffle shape tastes better.
You can't put everything in a waffle shape. I mean, imagine someone trying to put like a paella in a waffle shape.
Paella de mariscos in the waffle maker. Just a little leftover paella from dinner the other night. Gonna pop some shrimpies right on the top.
I recently learned a trick online and I want to test it out to separate the egg yolk from the egg whites. I already tried once and was successful, but then the second time I broke it.
Oh, it's not going to be one of these little gimmicks, is it? I mean, why do you need something to not touch the egg yolk? You can just use your fingers, it's faster.
But we're going to try. So I squeeze a plastic disposable water bottle while gently setting it over top of the egg yolk. Slowly release to suck the egg yolk up into the bottle. Let the egg whites separate, and there I have egg yolk and egg whites.
I think this is a waste of time, but I mean, if you don't want to be using the shells to separate the egg yolks and whites, or if you don't want to be actually just using your fingers, which is a lot faster, you know, if it works for you, it works for you. But for me, this is a gimmick.
Make perfect salmon every time in your dishwasher. Start with your salmon fillet.
She's gonna be cooking salmon in the dishwasher. Like, seriously, who cooks in the dishwasher? It's not meant to cook food, it's meant to wash your plates.
Add some lemon as desired. Then I use some fresh herbs like dill and rosemary. Next, I came in with a little garlic and some butter and salt and pepper to taste.
Okay, this is good. She's adding some herbs and spices to the fish to season the salmon.
Now be sure to wrap your salmon up so it's airtight. You don't want any holes or seams open in this.
If you don't want any water to get in, it's actually better to wrap the aluminum in film, yeah, in saran wrap. Wrap it a couple times because that way it'll protect it from getting too wet.
Put it in the top rack of your dishwasher and put it in for a full cycle on hot water and heat it dry. You want it to get to 145 degrees. When it's done, pull it out, open it up, and enjoy.
What a waste of water, honestly, to use your dishwasher for this. It also looked like she cooked the asparagus in this. If we go back and you see this other little piece of aluminium, but why use the dishwasher? You can do the same thing with the oven. As a matter of fact, you won't use as much water. You can get a bain-marie, get a container, fill it with hot water, put it in the bottom of the oven, stick the fish on top of that, yeah, on another rack, and that will actually help steam the oven. This is if your oven doesn't have a steam function. Just use this. You don't need to cook it in the dishwasher.
You have a beautiful, perfectly cooked salmon. So good. You gotta try this.
All of our pasta inside a blender. Just break it up a little bit. Make sure it all fits in there.
What is she doing with the pasta in the blender? And it says on here, I learned this pasta trick in Italy. It's kind of hard to believe. Yeah? I mean, seriously. I wouldn't see Italians like doing this.
You just put the spaghetti right in the blender.
Yes, you just put spaghetti, you put any kind of pasta right into your blender. We're gonna turn it on.
Did anyone see that? She was actually taking the fork and pushing the pasta into the machine with the fork while it's blending. That is like one of the most dangerous things that you can do. You can mess up the blade of your blender. You can hurt yourself as well. This can come back at you. If you are going to be playing around with the blender, I don't recommend sticking like utensils in it while it's blending.
Okay, I think we are ground up enough. It looks like that.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah, dump this out on our table. We're making fresh pasta out of pasta.
How does that make sense? Why not just use semolina? You can use semolina to make the pasta and actually make fresh pasta. You don't have to grind, take a pack of pasta that you're not using, dried pasta, blend it up in your blender, and then make pasta out of it. It's not going to be the right consistency. This is not a good trick, yeah?
Boop, just like that. I'm gonna mix it up. I'm just gonna start incorporating it all together. So I'm gonna go in with my hands. I'm just gonna start pressing it all together. So if your dough's a little bit too dry, you just need to add another egg on in there.
If you look at the consistency of this mix, you can see the granule size of the ground up pasta. the texture of it is not right. It's more like a texture of like ground corn or polenta. It's not right.
And what's so cool is that you can make any shape of pasta you want. So we are making today fettuccine and cut it in strips, just like this.
Ooh.
And you can do it however thick you want or thin that you want. There's no rules with making pasta this way.
It's a good thing Italians aren't reviewing this video right now because I can only imagine what their reaction would be.
Okay, now I have my boiled water. I'm just gonna throw some salt in there. We're gonna gently place our pasta noodles right into our boiled water.
Wow.
Just like that. We're gonna put all of them in there. I did also have some oil inside my water, which will prevent the noodles from sticking together.
I don't think you need to worry about the noodles actually sticking to each other. What you need to worry about is them actually falling apart. That's what you need to worry about.
While that's doing that, let's make the sauce. So while our pasta is cooking, I'm just going to put a jar of sauce right over here. We don't need too much. Adding a little bit of oregano to my sauce to give it a little more flavor.
On top of it, we're using like Classico or store-bought tomato sauce. If you want to make a good tomato sauce, make it from scratch. Or take a base like this and then add some fresh herbs to it. But if you're just going to be adding some dried oregano or anything to this, you're making like a cheap pizza sauce. It's not pasta. Not a good pasta sauce.
Look how good it looks. I was going with fettuccine, but I think we got more like linguine at this point.
Okay.
But the freedom is yours. Yep, it looks good to go. So let's give it a try.
And you can see the pasta water looks so milky on top of that. That's not normal. That's disgusting.
All right, it is done. Look how good it looks. I'm just gonna top it off with a little bit of shredded mozzarella cheese. Just like that. It smells so delicious.
It smells great.
And let's give it a try. I'm just gonna cut some from the back right here. All right, let's give it a taste. It's like the perfect consistency. It's soft. It tastes like exactly like fresh pasta.
There's no way that this is like fresh pasta. Fresh pasta is delicious. And this, taking dried pasta, grinding it up, and then making more pasta out of it, it's not the same thing.
The more avocados you're using, the more this trick becomes something that you love.
It actually looks like Rachel Ray came up with something that works this time. It's not a recipe, but it's a method. It's good. This is very good.
Now, this is the reason we have this wire rack here. It dices the avocados as you pull them out of their skins and drop them into the bowl.
This does work because I have seen it used before in the kitchens when making a lot of product, but at home, it's not necessary.
Hey, actual life fact, if you got some leftover burgers, first step is pull the bun off.
Leftover burgers. Who keeps leftover takeout food in the fridge? I mean, I can see that, you know, if you didn't eat everything, but if you have like just a couple burgers that you didn't eat and you just kept them in the fridge, why?
Go ahead and separate your veggies. Now just take your patty, give it a quick rinse.
No. Why would you wash the patty off if you're just going to be reheating it? Pop it in the microwave, it's done.
You're going right in the toaster. Yeah, baby. There we go.
Oh, that's why you rinsed it off. You didn't want to get any sauce in the toaster. But what about the cheese? Because if you leave it in there long enough, the cheese will melt and then it'll gunk up your toaster. So I don't see the logic here.
Veggies back on. Burger. And there we go.
You could have reheated this with the microwave. That's what a microwave's for, to reheat the food. And the toaster's to make toast. That's it.
Delicious. Oh shit, the fries. There you go.
Reheating the fries in the toaster, not the best thing. The fries in the toaster, they're just gonna fall down to the bottom tray. And you know, in the bottom tray, you have all the little breadcrumbs and everything from all the toast that you've been making. It's just, why? It's not nice. It's just not nice.
Easiest, delicious stick of butter rice.
Stick of butter rice and she's gonna be making risotto. Oh, this will be interesting.
Preheat your oven to 350. Pour a 16-ounce bag of rice into a baking dish. Get your can opener ready. Okay, pour a can of French onion Campbell soup into the rice.
French onion Campbell soup to make risotto.
Pour a can of Campbell's beef consomme into the rice.
Now we're going to be using Campbell's beef consomme to make risotto. She likes Campbell's, doesn't she?
Pour 2 little cans of mushrooms, 4 ounces each, into the mixture. Heat up and melt an entire stick of butter. Give it a little stir.
And a whole stick of butter as well. This is a different way. I've never seen a risotto made like this before. I have to admit, never.
Okay, now we're going to pour the butter all in. Quick stir. Get some Reynolds wrap. Wrap your dish really tight. Bake for 30 minutes. Take it out. Sprinkle pecorino romano cheese all over it and put it back in for another 30 minutes covered.
Wait a minute, let me get this straight. She's making risotto in the oven. She's already cooked it for 30 minutes and she's going to put it in for another 30 minutes. So an hour to make risotto. It doesn't take an hour to make risotto. Well, maybe if you're trying to make it like this, but it doesn't take an hour. It takes like 20 or so minutes. That's it.
Fluff it up. I promise you, best side dish ever.
Risotto as a side dish. I don't think of risotto as a side dish. Well, I mean, you could actually make it as a side dish if you wanted to, but this risotto is not creamy. The whole point of making risotto, the way to make risotto makes it creamy. Well, then again, you need the correct type of rice because the rice is super starchy, and the more that you stir the rice, the more that you release that starch, and that starch helps thicken and become that delicious creamy sauce, which makes a risotto creamy. You know, it's actually hard to say which one out of all of these was like the worst. I think the one that turned out maybe somewhat of a better one was actually Rachel Ray's little trick on cutting up avocados. But out of all of them, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys, on, for you, in order, which one was like the worst or the best out of all of them. And if you do have any more suggestions, then let me know down below in the comments section. And don't forget to hit that like button because it does help out the channel greatly, and share this with other people as well. Until then, guys, be sure to check out the next video coming up here, and I will see you guys again very soon. Until then, take care.